Israel has launched airstrikes into Iran, targeting both military and nuclear facilities, killing some of the most senior army officials and scientists. Iran says the dead include the commander of the country's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Now, Israel says it is mobilizing thousands of soldiers. It has told its citizens to expect retaliatory strikes. The dramatic development is not entirely surprising. Tensions have been very high in the last few days. The U.S. removed many personnel from the region ahead of talks on Iran's nuclear enrichment program that had been set for Sunday, but tonight action has preempted that talk. So let's go to Sasha Petrusik in Washington. Sasha, it's been several hours now since these strikes were launched. We're getting more hard information. Can you bring us up to speed on what has happened?
That's right, Adrienne. We're hearing from the Israeli military. A spokesperson said within the last hour that gave us some more details about how all of this happened, telling us that 100 different sites within Iran were hit, and it involved more than 200 fighter jets from Israel going in there. We're also hearing that in the past few hours, Iran has sent more than 100 drones toward Israel. So it's not quite clear exactly how that retaliation is going to happen or when or what form it will take. But we do know that Israel is expecting perhaps more than 100 ballistic missiles, which of course could also do a great deal of damage. That is what Iran has used in the past to retaliate, and it could well be hitting different parts of Israel. These attacks in Iran, these military bases, nuclear sites such as Natanz, south of Tehran, have raised concerns because of radiation that could have escaped, although we are hearing from the UN's nuclear watchdog that's been monitoring radiation that has not happened yet. Missile factories have also been hit, and notably residential neighborhoods in Tehran where these top commanders and scientists were killed and injured. As you said, among them, the head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, which of course is very high up in the military. One person who was not killed or injured is the Supreme Leader, Ali Khamenei, and he has issued a statement calling Israel's attack wicked and bloody and saying that there will be retaliation. As for Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel's delivered a successful opening strike, that all of this will continue for many days. This is how he put this battle.
When enemies vow to destroy you, believe them. When enemies build weapons of mass death, stop them. As the Bible teaches us, when someone comes to kill you, rise and act first. This is exactly what Israel has done today. We have risen like lions to defend ourselves.
So Israel has declared a state of emergency, told people to stay in or near air raid shelters, and to expect more of that Iranian retaliation, perhaps in the coming hours. Adrienne?
All right, Sasha, thank you. That is Sasha Petrusik in Washington. So Chris Reyes also joins us now from New York. So Chris, so interesting to determine where the Trump administration is on all of this, what it's saying, what it is not saying.
Yeah, still nothing directly from President Trump at this hour, but Fox News host Bret Baier, someone that Trump talks to pretty frequently, Adrienne, went on air to say that he spoke to the president after these strikes, and three things. He said that the president was aware of Israel's action before it happened, that he's hoping to get back to the negotiating table with Iran, and then perhaps the most notable, Trump apparently told him that the U.S. will defend itself and Israel if Iran retaliates. Now, that said, the first official communication from the Trump administration following this strike was from State Secretary Marco Rubio. He posted a statement shortly after the strikes happened, and he made a point to underscore that the U.S. is not involved in the strikes, that this was a unilateral move by Israel. Now, some Israeli media, including its public broadcaster, are reporting that Israeli officials are saying that they fully coordinated coordinated with the U.S. on this attack. What fully coordinated means, I mean, we don't know at this point. Last we heard directly from President Trump was at a bill signing ceremony, and that was midday yesterday. And Trump seemed to know enough even back then to pull Americans back from the region. This is what he said about that.
There's a chance of massive conflict. We have a lot of American people in this area. And I said, we got to tell them to get out because something could happen soon. And I don't want to be the one that didn't give any warning and missiles are flying into their buildings. It's possible. So I had to do it.
Yeah, so was that a fail-safe strategy, or did he know something officially from Israel? There was some reporting before all of this transpired that an attack would only happen if the talks scheduled for Sunday with U.S. and Iranian officials in Oman, if that fell through. And then, Adrienne, maybe in a last-ditch attempt to salvage that meeting, Trump posted on Truth Social yesterday afternoon that he was committed to diplomacy and negotiations with Iran. What's what at this point? We'll only really learn more once we hear directly from President Trump.
All right. Well, it will happen. Chris Reyes in New York. Thank you, Chris. Now, senior international correspondent Margaret Evans has reported extensively from the region, and she was just in Iran a few weeks ago. I spoke with her earlier about the new heightened danger.
I'd say that most analysts in the region will be looking to see whether retaliation is directed solely at Israel, or whether they also include U.S. targets, forces in the region, in Iraq and the Gulf states, things like that. An enormous amount of posturing up to this point between Iran and the United States ahead of, these ongoing nuclear talks. There are more talks about talks to achieve a nuclear agreement. When we were in Iran, we spoke to a senior advisor to the Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who said that Iran had very specific red lines that it wasn't willing to budge on. It insists that it doesn't aspire to a nuclear weapon, that what it's trying to do is have a domestic nuclear program. But despite, those comments about a red line, it was very clear to us that, Iran's officialdom needed some kind of an agreement. The economy is in disarray. There are a lot of tensions within the country between would-be reformers and the hardliners. So a lot of domestic pressure. And of course, we've heard from Washington that the U.S. President Donald Trump really wanted a deal as well. So we'll have to wait and see. From ordinary people in Iran, I've had a message from someone I know in Tehran tonight saying they were woken up by the sound of the explosions. People will be shocked because although there are a lot of people who still say down with the United States, a lot of the people we spoke to, especially young Iranians, were really desperate for some kind of agreement that would see Iran emerge from decades of isolation.
All right, Margaret Evans in London tonight.